This is another post. Season 2 retrospective. Oh my god, we have more dev block shit. Okay. Wait, what? Defense Matrix update. I didn't see this. Why was this not on the Reddit? Streaming protection features and new actions for cheating. I literally just made a post about this. Was it on the first? When did I post asking them for anonymous mode? When did I make that post? Was it 2 days ago? This was not on the Reddits. This was not on the Reddits. The second, I made a post on the second, not the first. Although I've made posts in the past asking for it, I made a new post on the second. What is this? What is this? Holy shit. Okay. We're back. This is a big deal. Why was this not a Reddit? This was not a Reddit. I had to take a piss, guys. Reports from the Onion. Oh, what's going on here, guys? Where's Charles? Yeah, the USA surrendered to a balloon. I don't know what's going on with that. People are getting like freaked out by it. It's like they don't realize there's satellites in the sky. Very weird. Hey, I paused my music. Yeah. I don't know why people freak out about weather balloons when there's satellites. But here we are.
Google Cloud.
And at this point, you know, there's nothing that a weather balloon could do that satellites can't do or missiles can't do. So, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird. Maybe it's like a stunt by Trump. Although I think China actually acknowledged it, so I don't know. All right. Streaming protection features. Yeah, I literally made a tweet about this on the second. I did not realize that this was a thing. Asking for an anonymous mode. Let's take a look. Corruptive voice chat detection. I don't care. No one uses voice chat anymore. Once again, because you can't really, you literally can't talk to people in this game anymore without someone getting pissed off, reporting you, and then you getting flagged. So it doesn't really matter.
With the launch of Overwatch 2, we have welcomed over 40 million players, both returning and new, to the world of Overwatch. Since becoming free-to-play, we've continued to combat disruptive behaviors, including gameplay sabotage, abusive chat, and cheating. As explained in the introduction to our Defense Matrix initiative, we've already made
September 27th, October 5th. No, we covered this already. This is nothing to do with anti-cheat.
We've already made strides to push toward a fairer gaming experience for all our players. Today, we have a few updates we'd like to
Allegedly,
share about how we're
China balloon.
continuing to ensure Overwatch 2 is a fun and safe game for everyone to enjoy.
I don't think there's anything in Area 51.
Disruptive voice chat detection. In our previous blog, we announced that we would begin to identify
If there
and
was,
take
they moved
action
it
against
already,
those
so it
who are
doesn't matter.
disruptive in voice chat through the use of our new voice-to-text transcription and AI learning algorithms. We've begun to roll out this new technology starting in Season 2 for select regions, and it's proven to be
Don't
exceptionally
care.
accurate and effective in identifying abusive chat and language. We've already begun working to stop disruptive players with applicable chat silencing and account suspensions as needed. Remember to report anyone you find to be abusive, whether in voice chat or text chat, immediately as soon as you encounter it in your games. Reporting right away helps us take action on those accounts faster.
So, I'm not big into trolling people, and I think harassment's a really bad thing, just to preface this. However, I do not think it is a company or someone else's job to moderate what you find offensive. To a certain extent, as long as, someone's not burning babies or something, to a certain extent, because obviously that's a crime in real life, but it's not their job to moderate what you view. That is your personal responsibility, and you at any point in time can stop it from happening by ignoring someone. You put them on ignore online, right? You put them on ignore on voice chat, you leave voice chat, or you ignore them with text. Either way, there are options, and perhaps they should be better options for ignoring people, where instead of this guy getting actioned, whatever this guy's doing, getting actioned instead, unless it's really heinous, maybe just put a content warning on it, where you have to click a box where you want to hear people that might otherwise be flagged. And that should be your option as an individual to look at what you want. It is not Blizzard, it is not Karen's job to tell everyone else that you don't want to see that. That's Karen. Karen doesn't want you to see that because they don't like that person. That is not their ability, nor should it be something that should be perpetuated, right? That's if they don't like that person, they put them on ignore. And it does not function that way for the rest of civilization, because one person cannot tolerate something or a couple people can't tolerate it. They should otherwise be allowed to speak their mind, even if it's horrible. That's just part of life. It's part of free speech. And at the end of the day, you can make every argument you want about, Blizzard, it's a private company, they don't have free speech, etc., etc. Free speech doesn't cover it. Sure, whatever. You can make that any case. People can literally censor you for whatever reason they want on their own platform, because that's the way the world works. Sure, it is their prerogative to do that, but I'm saying in the betterment of humanity, people should be allowed to speak their mind, whatever it is, wherever it is, and you can put them on ignore. And if someone can get around the ignore feature, that's on Blizzard. There shouldn't be no way for them to get around ignore features. It should link all their accounts or whatever and just ignore everyone universally. However, at the end of the day, you should be personally responsible for what you hear and who you interact with. That's you. And obviously, assuming that nothing illegal is being done, and assuming it's not straight up harassment like someone's following you around, if this is just a random interaction you have with someone and you decide that they shouldn't be allowed to speak ever, I disagree with that. I 100% disagree with that. And I think personal responsibility is definitely something that more people should manage themselves when it comes to who they interact with. Oftentimes that is your choice, and especially if you're being controversial, you can expect other people to either trolls or people with legitimate opinions to come up to conflict with your own. That's just the way the world works. When you try to assert yourself and you try to be or you say something that's controversial, you can expect there will be an other side to that argument that pops up, and you're delusional if you think otherwise, or that people on the other side have no right to speak their mind because you are a better human being or something. I don't fucking know. Yeah. Anyways, text-to-speech monitoring, yeah. So from what I understand with the voice chat detection, what happens here is when you are flagged for something in Overwatch, it sends a speech-to-text transcription to the customer service for the snippet, and then they read the text-to-speech or the speech-to-text snippet. They don't even listen to the audio. They read the speech-to-text snippet and then action based on it. Yeah, and that's a really horrible place. If you ever heard text-to-speech or speech-to-text, when it's trying to figure out what you're saying and make an intelligent conversation, some's good. Some of it's good. Other times it can just say completely random shit. But yeah, as I mentioned before, I mentioned just now, I believe this is more personal responsibility, more so than Blizzard's responsibility as a company to babysit essentially their community. It's different if you have someone following you around, you have someone harassing you. I think, was like Tim, back when Tim was on Twitch, he played Overwatch for years, and he had someone that was like following him around, just like tanking his games for like a year. It was incredible how long it took Blizzard to actually do anything about it. And that was actually legitimate. That's harassment. That was a legitimate concern. If you just have someone you disagree with, this is Karen shit at this point. If you have someone that you disagree with and you just think they shouldn't have a right to talk because you're better than them or something, you can fuck off. But yeah, this is basically where we've come to at this point. But and once again, another reason people just don't even engage in the game anymore. People will get heated, people will get mad, people will say angry things, and you as a person can just leave voice chat or leave text chat. And then if they try to tank the game, that is also harassment. If they decide to throw the game purely because they dislike you, that's worse than saying mean things, because that's their actual actions just ruining life. Did I just lose a tab? What the fuck was that? That's weird. I saw one of my tabs move. Okay.
Custom game moderation.
Probably have a virus
Many
in my
of the
computer.
custom games
FBI.
our players have come up with continue to be fun and creative ways to enjoy Overwatch 2. While we work to bring back our advanced workshop tools for custom game creators to use, we also want to make sure we are providing ways to make sure our custom games remain safe and enjoyable for all of our players. We'll soon be adding a new moderation technology that works behind the scenes to automatically remove custom games containing inappropriate titles
I thought this
or
update would have more to do with
content, along with
anti-cheat.
issuing restrictions or account actions to those who create and post such custom games. Remember, when you see any inappropriate custom game listing, be sure to open the Custom Games Information tab and report them.
Like the one StarCraft 2 or StarCraft map that was like boobs, and it was just a picture of boobs. It was a custom lobby that was just boobs. I remember that when I was a kid. It was fucking hilarious. I was like, okay.
Introducing streamer protection, a part of maintaining a strong Overwatch 2 community, is supporting our dedicated players who create content and live stream across various video platforms. A growing problem in live streaming communities is when disruptive players attempt to interfere with these content creators by trying to queue into the same match they want to play. Stream sniping is not an easy problem to solve. But starting in Season 3, we're introducing new streaming protection features.
Let me preface this by saying, but anyone that is trying to tackle a problem with a silver bullet has no right tackling problems for troubleshooting. A silver bullet is a pipe dream. That is something you wish would exist, but does not always exist, especially in engineering problems, in coding problems, in every fucking aspect of the world. It is you trying to make the best with weighing and balancing, moderating the differences between the two. There is almost never a silver bullet to your problems, and you're probably kidding yourself, or you're maybe delusional, or maybe you don't have the whole story if you think there's a silver bullet. So, occasionally, yeah, you just answer a problem, but like complex problems oftentimes will never have a silver bullet, no matter what. And it has bugged me for years when game developers look at something and they won't take action on something because they think that there needs to be a silver bullet. As with anti-cheat, it's not about getting rid of all the cheaters. It is about making the experience miserable or not worth their time to actually do. They get no joy out of it. You sap that joy. You take away that motivation. You sap the joy from them. They eventually stop doing it because it's not fun anymore. Like getting their name on stream, being able to coordinate exactly where the person's dropping. That's also on the streamer, by the way, personal responsibility, where they don't put a delay on it. You don't need to have a long delay to fuck up stream snipers. I've learned that many times. Hiding your name, hiding it on the receiving end, so the player can't see your name, and then your stream can't see the names of the people you're playing against. And then even with Dead by Daylight, they took that one step further, where you can't even see the player's name, you as a person, you as a streamer. They can't even see your name on stream, so they can't even start looking up your account. Yeah, and Dead by Daylight took fucking 7 years to do that shit. And Overwatch has taken 6 years, and Overwatch is arguably a better company than BHVR. Or, excuse me, Blizzard is a better company than BHVR is. At the end of the day, like when I am playing in games, I play a shitload of quick play, as you guys know, and I've started getting to the point where there are people that will hound me because they know I play fair and or I'll particularly be picked out at matches because not necessarily they know who I am as a player, but they've played against me enough where they don't like me. That shouldn't be a fucking thing. That's not the meta of the game is who do you fucking hate the most where you throw the game to fuck this person. That is not how you play the game. It could be a mini game, right? You could make a game out of it, and it could be some of these sorry saps have reached the point where they jack off to this because they hate Overwatch, they hate their lives, and they hate everything they're doing, but they get this one iota where they might be making some of happiness where they make someone's life miserable. Those people are horrible, by the way, but that they do exist in the world, and Blizzard has to acknowledge that they exist because they do. And they're the same sort of people that will tend to cheat. Yeah, surprise. But yeah, this is something that should have happened a long time ago, and you don't need to have a silver bullet to fix it. You don't need to go, oh, stream snipers can never get into this guy's game ever. There's a lot of systems you could put in place. You could also make it see when someone ends up in the same person's game over and over again, not necessarily because of their MMR, but they happen to queue at you could make a correlation between queue times between player A and player B and figure out that guy is trying to get into player B's game or player A's game, right? Yeah, it's not that difficult. You have a couple hundred data points of this guy happening to queue at exactly the same moment as this other guy. It's pretty easy to figure out that either they are trying to stack the teams, which is also something they shouldn't be able to do, stack the teams and either trade wins or get around, let's say, a system where you can't be in the game with other players, i.e. H1Z1 or any game where they disallowed teams, right? In a free-for-all. Yeah, because it didn't make a lot of sense and it ruined the game for everyone else. Yeah, when you start to figure out all these guys are queuing together, maybe there is something more to it. You can correlate the data points, right? And obviously it comes down to how many databases you want to, I mean, Overwatch is a shitload of data, so I mean, another data point here probably is not going to make things horrible, and then processing power to deal with it, whatever. But there are definitely ways of dealing with this, and it's not necessarily a silver bullet. You don't need a silver bullet.
Introducing streamer protection. A part of maintaining a strong Overwatch 2 community is supporting our dedicated players who create content and live stream across various video platforms.
I create content.
A growing problem in live streaming communities
cheaters.
is when disruptive players attempt to interfere with these content creators by trying to queue into the same match they want to play.
Yeah.
Stream sniping is not an easy problem to solve, but starting in Season 3, we're introducing new streaming protection features that should be a huge step toward enabling content creators to share Overwatch 2 with their fans safely and without harassment from disruptive players.
Even if you don't
Players will now be able to hide their current battle tag or hide the tags of the other players in the same game they play in on their own game client. This will prevent those who may be watching that player's live stream from identifying if they're in the same lobby. Players can also now hide the current queue time and even delay it for a random time before the game actually begins to find a match
features,
for that
basically.
player. Replay codes can also now be hidden from appearing in the game client. These features will be available starting in Season 3 for all players and can be found in the social options in your settings.
I have asked for this option in Overwatch even prior to Overwatch 2. You could go back on my Twitter. I've basically started putting stuff in stone for years at this point. I asked for this option back in Overwatch 1 days. I asked for it in the Heroes of the Storm on their forums. Yeah, there are a lot of places where this is very useful, especially when the community becomes smaller and smaller, in which someone should not be privy to you as a person. Because it doesn't matter. What matters is what you are doing in the game, right? That's what really matters at the end of the day. And by the way, I assume most of you guys are smart enough where you think that this is not going to affect the reporting system in any way, shape, or form. It won't. Someone's harassing you, you report them. Blizzard can fucking see their name, you can't. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean Blizzard can't see it. You report them. So there are some people, like in Dead by Daylight, they were like, oh, I can't see who this player is. This is a horrible system, and no, you literally, if they're anonymous, you can just skip on the game, which I did back when I was playing Dead by Daylight. You get anonymous, you can skip, or you can reveal their names and hide the screen, which is also what I did. Yeah, so no, you don't need as a person, you do not need to know who they are. I'm sorry, that is not a counter argument, and Blizzard can definitely know who they are. So, yeah, this is very much needed. Bravo, Blizzard. Just, what is it, 6 years later? How long has Overwatch been out for? Overwatch release date. 7 years. May. Almost 7 years it took them to... It's almost as long as Dead by Daylight. It's almost exact. Dead by Daylight added this before Overwatch did. Dead by Release date. Holy shit. Dead by Daylight has been around less than Overwatch, and BHVR as a company added this before Blizzard did. Wow! And Fortnite has had this for like, what, 3 years, 4 years now? Wow! Wow! Blizzard, you're getting upshown by BHVR. They code spaghetti. They literally go to the kitchen to make their code. I'm not joking. It's literally in their game. The developers code in the kitchen, and they get flour all over their keyboards. You got shown up by BHVR. That's a sad place to be, by the way. Don't take that the right way. You don't want to be shown up at BHVR. Okay. Let's continue. Maybe there'll be something about the anti-cheat here, which they never talk about because it doesn't exist in their game for the most part.
Playing fair, we acknowledge that cheating continues to be a major concern for many of our high-ranked players. So far, we have actioned over 50,000 accounts that we found to be cheating since the launch of Overwatch 2.
That's up. So basically 6 months, they've banned 50,000 accounts. That seems like a lot. It's not. When you learn about the amount of people that cheat in video games, guys, and I'm not making this shit up, when you learn about the amount of people that cheat in video games, that is actually a very small number. When PUBG started banning, they were banning millions per month. Yeah, like when they instituted Battle Eye in PUBG, and not that PUBG has really good anti-cheat, because they don't. They were, Battle Eye was announcing how many people they were banning, and it was a boatload. It was an absolute astronomical boatload. So 50,000, there's a lot of people that fucking play Overwatch, and this is next to no one. So before you think like this is a big number, it's not. I like pointing out, by the way, that Vice did an article. Vice, PUBG mobile cheating. Video game cheat empire. They banned, once again, this is a company, this is one of the biggest companies in China that only made PUBG mobile cheats. They banned them. They made 70 million. And when you scroll down here, when they took their servers offline, they had 600,000 active subscribers. When he shut down Cheat Ninja Down, Catfish said they had, these are the name of the people they're making up, that they talked to, that they had an interview with. They had 600,000 monthly active users. This is PUBG Mobile. Cheating is not rare. What's the percent? Yeah, that's something we'll never know. That's something we'll never know for like Overwatch for sure. But yeah, this is a Vice article. This isn't like gamers. This isn't like anything like, I don't even know. I don't look at esports.com or something. I don't fucking know. This isn't even like a normal gaming website. This is just like a website that occasionally does interview pieces. And this is for video games. And by the way, this didn't get shut down because they found a way to deal with the cheat. This got shut down because these guys got arrested in real life. The supposedly three people that were running this business that made $70 million, 2 of them got arrested in real life, and the third one shut everything down and basically burned the servers. It's actually a really cool article to read, by the way, if you're curious about this. It's actually a pretty cool article. And it's from 2021, so it's not all that old either. That's a lot of fucking people, guys. It's absurd. The Kunshin Police presents a Tencent representative, that's the video game company, with an award for collaborating on the chicken drumstick investigation and crackdown. This is a video game company employee, and these are the police that arrested them in real life. Yeah, they didn't get shut down because they got found out. They didn't get found. They got shut down because they found them in real life. They didn't find the cheat. They didn't figure out how to deal with the cheat. They found the people in real life and canceled them in real life, basically. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's keep going.
Grouping up and playing fair.
But people that think
cheating continues to be a
I don't understand this stigma exists today, in which people will assume that people that play video games online are like in this fucking battle between chivalrous spirits that never would do anything wrong ever in the world. Have you seen who fucking posts on Facebook or Reddit or fucking Twitter? Who the fuck do you think you're playing against? Most people are shitbirds. That's just the way the world works right now. Welcome to real life. And it's no different in gaming. It's even worse in gaming, especially when people are anonymous. You can buy verified Overwatch accounts for $3. You can buy accounts depending on what you want with GM history on it for $20 to $40 that are verified. So yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Verified accounts means jack shit. It's like the bare minimum they had to do, and people freaked out about it. And you can easily buy accounts. So
Grouping up and playing fair, we acknowledge that cheating continues to be a major concern for many of our high-ranked players. So far, we have actioned over 50,000 accounts that we found to be
That's not a
cheating
lot.
since the launch of Overwatch
Moral of the story.
2. Along with taking action against cheaters, we want to discourage any incentive to take advantage of cheating, including grouping up with anyone who uses cheats and hacks.
Yep. There's
Starting
a couple of
in
those we see
Season
in quick
3,
play.
We'll be identifying players who willingly group up regularly
Hey!
with those flagged for cheating, and they will also face account action.
Remember where I mentioned it wouldn't be that hard for them to track who queues at exactly the same moment and start making correlations after it happens for the 50th time? That maybe those guys are trying to group together, or unknowingly it's a streamer that's getting stream sniped? Wow. Tracking stuff.
Even if they're not using cheats themselves. Players who knowingly group up with cheaters are looking to take the same advantage as those who use cheats themselves, including boosting their accounts to skill levels they would not normally belong in with their own skill. Doing so creates unfair and imbalanced matches for many in our community and does not live up to our core values.
I would also like to point out here, Blizzard, that pre-mades do the same thing in allowing five-man groups to gangbang pub in comp. You can't group with 5 stacks in GM, but you can uptell GM, which is the majority of the player base. Probably is not where you want to be. I get that it probably increases your sales and it looks good somewhere, but someone getting anally fisted somewhere because they can't, and you just think they won't notice because they can't see that the enemy team is grouped together, doesn't mean they're having a fun time. And there are plenty of people that just assume that they aren't playing against pre-mades, and you can clearly tell the enemy team is highly coordinated when no one uses voice comms in quick play in any way, shape, or form. You can tell they're highly coordinated. Yeah, it's a pretty good bet that they're in a pre-made together. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean they don't exist. I get it. When one group dicks on another group, it makes them look good, and everyone goes, oh my god, I'm going to buy the $20 Mercy skin at the end of the day, but that's not where you want to be, Blizzard. And Overwatch 1 was better than that.
Players who knowingly group up with cheaters are looking to take the same advantage as those who use cheats themselves, including boosting their accounts to skill levels they would not normally belong in with their own skill. Doing so creates unfair and imbalanced matches for many in our community and does not live up to our core values.
I will also point out, by the way, that there are cases to be said where someone plays with a group of friends and they don't know a guy in the group's cheating. I don't know how they're going to deal with that, because that's like my brother was the one cheating sort of ordeal. But I'm very certain there are plenty of cases where someone doesn't know that they're actually grouped with a cheater and they just assume they're really good. A lot of people are completely ignorant to cheating online, including their friends. They'd be even less likely to assume their friend's cheating, right? Because he's Joe. He knows Joe from high school. Everyone fucking knows Joe. But that being said, most people have a story where they've known personally someone that's cheated or found out after the fact, or someone that has cheated for a long time, they eventually figured it out. And they aren't uncommon. It's pretty much everyone knows a cheater or have cheated themselves. I've cheated in video games like when I was 15 or something, 14, even 12. It was a long time ago.
Players who knowingly group up with
By the way,
cheaters
it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy when you are when you first cheat and when you learn how easy the game is. You lose. It was very easy for me to figure out that the game is no longer fun when you have nothing to gain from it anymore. It takes away that one part of you that makes you feel good because you actually know that it's you personally that's playing and making it better. Yeah, I don't know other way to it robs you of the endorphins you get from winning. That being said, I think a lot of cheaters still either are so delusional that they think themselves are like that's their personal skill. They think everyone else is cheating. There's a lot of reasons people cheat. Their friends are the ones patting them on the back, which is completely outside the game, and they might just enjoy that. A lot of people enjoy the pat backs, right? The back pats. A lot of people enjoy the back pats. Or there's a monetary aspect if they're streaming or if they're outside the norm of their demographic. I've seen there's more than one female individual on Twitch that is now cropping up and being esports ready but refuses to play in tournaments, like real life tournaments. Yeah, or if they do, they're not quite good. Not that all women are in this boat, but yeah, Yeah, there's a couple videos that are out there too. If you guys are curious about that. But yeah. There's the monetary aspect. When you can cheat and make money, it's a pretty big deal.
Players who knowingly group up with cheaters are looking to take the same advantage as those who use cheats themselves, including boosting their accounts to skill levels they would not normally belong in with their own skill. Doing so creates unfair and imbalanced matches for many in our community
Yep.
and does not live up to our core value of play nice, play fair. While those who directly cheat
got
are
it,
often
Shway.
permanently banned immediately, we will be issuing severe suspensions for extended amounts of time, and in extreme cases, outright bans, to those grouping up with known cheaters.
Outright bans. Yeah, agency. Self-efficacy is another way of looking at that. Your ability to express control and agency over whatever you're doing. Self-efficacy is a psychology term. So when you do something, it's important to have a hobby, by the way, because hobbies are generally something gardening in which you can express skill and be able to learn and manipulate your environment and grow as an individual by being able to change something around you. And a lot of people don't have, when you watch TV, for instance, you don't have any efficacy, right? You don't change what's on TV. Streaming, you have a lot more efficacy or agency when you watch a streamer, right? You can interact with me, and I can say words back to you, and you words with me. That's socializing at the most basic form, right? And socializing involves some level of agency or efficacy, self-efficacy. TV, by the way, is horrible. It's kind of funny because boomers, if you had boomer parents, they would always make fun of you for playing video games. That'll rot your brain. TV fucking rots your brain because there is no input from you into the system. You are just consuming, and you can't give anything back, right? You can't do anything involving with it. Video games are highly interactive, very good at training your brain in many different ways. And video games is just a term for it. Wordle is a good way of training your brain. Yeah. Good. Remember to report. I report a lot. Remember to report. I don't know why this wasn't on Reddit.
Remember to report. We would like to conclude with a reminder to all of our community that your reports matter. Remember that we are more likely to take action on disruptive players when you see it in your games and take the time to report them. This helps us make Overwatch 2 a fun and enjoyable gaming experience for everyone. We also want to acknowledge that reporting on console platforms is a complicated experience, and have plans to work on improving the user interface for console players to be more intuitive. Making sure we can deliver a safe, fun, and fair game for all of our players is a constant area of focus for our team, and we look forward to sharing more updates in the future. In the meantime, we encourage everyone to review the Blizzard in-game code of conduct, and take any steps to ensure that your gameplay is fun and fair for others.
Okay.
Thank you, heroes. Until next
time. Go look at the code of conduct. No, that's fine. Kind of unfortunate. I know it's kind of like the ugly duckling, the thing they don't want to touch, the elephant in the room, but telling people what they should look for when they think someone's cheating, and like a basic way of looking at it, and then what they should include in a cheat report would be a good step in the right direction. For instance, I'll usually include the behavior, and then I'll try to include like a time period. Sometimes it's throughout the entire game, but other times it is during certain periods in the game. A lot of people will toggle on and off to avoid stat-based banning, because that does exist. So they'll toggle on at key portions in the game when it really matters, and it'll fuck you, right? If you toggle on at the beginning of the game, you take the points immediately, and then toggle on at the end of the game, and then just roll over the last point, you win. And, the game's not going to be any wiser, right? Is this pinned? It is pinned, isn't it? Unpinned. Okay, well, this is good. So, taking action against cheaters and people grouping with cheaters, that's very good. I'm glad they're doing this. There is stream snipe protection coming. Anonymous mode, thank God. Thank God. Even if you just play the game, guys, why? What? People don't need to know my name. I'm just Farrah232. It doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day. I don't know why anyone needs to know my name. The only reason you ever need to know someone's name is because you are trying to interact with them in some way that's outside of the game. If they just know you're Farrah, they either know you're good or bad, or you can see your stats. What? It doesn't fucking matter. All they need to know is at the end of the day whether or not you are a person, like whether or not you are doing well in the character, and then they interact with the character. You as a person, your character outside of the game, you as a person does not matter to someone in the game, and it should not matter. If this is an esports tournament and they're sussing out the teams or whatever, maybe you could make a case for this. This isn't fucking, we are not playing OWL in Overwatch, especially in quick play. especially so in quick play, but even in comp, it's not like that. So, yeah, I don't think there's a single case you could make for not allowing people to see their names. The only exception being, once again, is if they're harassing them. But once again, Blizzard can see the names, you report them. So I think the benefits highly outweigh any sort of cons here for streamer protection. Long time coming. I've asked for this for years. I'm glad it's finally in the game. This is very nice. Even if people freak out. I don't know why it's not on the Reddits. Was it on the Reddits? I just didn't see it. This was 4 days ago. I don't think I saw this pinned at all on the Reddit or even in the comments. So either they removed it or they didn't want it covered, which is kind of sad because this is actually a big deal. But I guess it's the negative part of the community, right? Okay. Retrospect. Let's take a look back here. More development updates.
The Overwatch team has been preparing to conclude Season 2 as we gear up to Season 3, and
Yep.
we're incredibly thankful for all the
And
player
map
feedback
rotations
we've
are
seen
going
over
away
the
in
past
Season 4.
months.
Bye!
We'd like to take some time
They
to
should never
reflect
been in
on
the game
this
in the
past
first place.
season and give you a sense of where we're going in the future. Here's more info about what we're doing now and how we're thinking about longer-term
Yep, Shway.
changes.
There's a couple in
Ramatra
particular in
stormed the
puzzle
hero
games.
lineup.
I mean,
We watched
puzzles even
Ramatra
before video
closely
games
when he
were a
first
thing, right?
released, including community gameplay and conversations. We started asking ourselves some challenging questions about his kit's performance based on your feedback. What was the community's first impressions of his kit? Is his kit approachable? Which abilities and moments are resonating with our community? What are the sore spots? The next set of questions focused more on his viability. How's he performing as players learn how to play him? What compositions is he fitting into? Are there early dominant strategies? Answers here help us decide if we want to make any changes to the hero within the first 2 weeks, before they enter competitive play. Ramatra's initial release was met with a lot of positive feedback in terms of fun factor. We saw a lot
Fun
of great
factor.
conversation around his kit and the overall design.
Fun factor almost always relates to whether or not you can shit on your opponent, so yeah.
But it was clear that you felt Ramatra wasn't viable in enough situations. At this point, there are many different factors that go into making balanced decisions, including
I don't think he's a
player
horrible
feedback
character.
and hero performance, though this is limited to quick play data, which can differ from competitive. With our learnings, we chose to increase his power while in Nemesis form by upping his armor and speed. Alongside the Nemesis form changes, we also decreased the cooldown on his Void barrier to create more overall uptime with his abilities. Overall, this set of changes had a large effect on Ramatra's effectiveness, and he
Ramatra.
entered competitive as one of the stronger tank picks, a big shift from his lower performance leading up to the changes. As we wrap Season 2, Ramatra remains a strong tank choice, and the previous changes helped achieve some of Ramatra's overall design goals. Going into his release, though,
Yeah,
there
I
was
definitely
one
think it's going to be
ability
a
we knew
tank
would
I'll be
a
looking
risk:
at when we
his
play
ultimate
tanks.
ability, Annihilation.
Along with
While an
Junker Queen,
ultimate
who
lasting
also
as
looks
long as
pretty fun.
enemies are in it is very exciting, it can lead to some unhealthy gameplay scenarios. We want Ramatra to feel imposing and intimidating but not feel hopeless to fight against. In Season 3, we'll be changing the timer on Annihilation so that it will tick down slower if enemies are in it, previously paused the timer entirely, and adding a cap of 20 seconds. That should eliminate many of the extreme uses and enable more counterplay while keeping Annihilation a strong and impactful ability.
Yeah, they could have also made it where he can't block while using it, or his block takes, like, it's a reduced version of block, so he gets pooped on if enough people focus him. And instead they chose to cap the ability itself. I don't think that's necessarily the right choice, but the big problem is when he's blocking and people can't do damage to him. And he just fucking sits there until everyone dies.
Battle for Olympus and other Season 2 limited time events. We set a goal in Overwatch 2 of having more frequent in-game events and unique limited time game modes. As we gather your feedback and look at whether you enjoyed different events, we expect to improve and bring many of them back in the future. Generally, we want to craft different ways to play the game and give you fun new modes and events to experience. And we want to be more willing to take creative risks for these limited time game modes. We debuted the Battle for Olympus during Season 2. We're generally happy about this mode and player feedback around it, but we do think there's room for improvement. Specifically, we did not expect that players would pursue all hero titles during the event. We think some challenges were too difficult to complete in aggregate. Based on your feedback, we also plan to make
There's
a
always
team deathmatch
completionists.
version and enable the mode in custom games the next time it runs.
Hey.
And we mistakenly did not include environmental kills in our leaderboard tabulations. Zeus fights dirty at times with a giant statue on the line, but this will be corrected for any future battles. We also brought back the Winter Wonderland and Lunar New Year events. Millions of new players have come in to play Overwatch 2 and been able to experience these events for the first time. However, we've heard and understand the feedback from Overwatch veterans that these events don't feel as exciting when they come back around, particularly if you already own the event reward, as was the case for some players in the Lunar New Year event. We are working to offer rewards that are new for all players more consistently. In Season 3, one of our new events will offer players an all-new legendary skin. And starting in Season 4, our goal is to offer new items as rewards for most of our big events.
Okay. Obviously they're backpedaling a little bit on how stringent they are with requirements for completionists. I don't really like limited time events aren't really my cup of tea. I know some people are really into them. I don't really care whether or not I get the candy canes at Christmas or not. It doesn't really matter to me. Some people do. Makes it feel like they're actually doing stuff when they play a game. I guess if that's your thing. I get more fulfillment about like playing a character and growing at that character and being able to get better at them. It's like internal drive sort of shit that I have going on. Where stuff like this, the gets here don't really appeal to me at all. It doesn't really matter to me. Skins don't really matter to me. I still wear the fucking same silver Pharah skin because I prefer it over the Warhammer 40k skin. Even though the Warhammer 40k skin's pretty cool, the rocket launcher glows too much, and I find that obnoxious. But yeah, like I still wear the same silver skin because I like it, and whatever. I enjoy playing Pharah. I enjoy the aspect to interact with the character more. But some people are into this. Good for them. Okay. We already covered this. We covered both part 1 and part 2 of the ranked updates, and kind of seems an awful lot like the people making the matchmaker have no idea what they're doing. Continue.
Ranked updates and changes. Our team is aware of some community pain points with competitive mode and matchmaking, specifically matches with wide skill variations, inconsistent games, and too few and infrequent competitive updates. We have a set of improvements coming to matchmaking, and we're also working on updates to the competitive system. You can learn more information in Part 1 and Part 2 of our matchmaking series.
Okay. Credits. Reintroducing credits in Hero Gallery update. Is this cards? I wish they'd introduce cards and being on fire again.
Introducing credits and Hero Gallery update in Season 3. We're bringing back Overwatch credits, which had been previously shown as legacy credits and be unearnable in Overwatch 2. Now, all players can earn up to 1,500 credits as free rewards and another 500 credits as premium rewards spread throughout Season 3 Battle Pass. We are also adding more uses for your credits so you can choose from many potential rewards. Specifically, we are making 2 related updates to our Hero Gallery. First, nearly all the epic and legendary tier skins prior to Overwatch 2 launch will always be available in the Hero Gallery for purchase with either Overwatch coins or credits. This includes skins from the season.
Not that this really matters that much, by the way, and that's particularly because it's like giving you stuff that you already had, right, as a gift. I guess new players are going to benefit from this, but old players is kind of like them trying to offer skins that they don't really have to offer because you already probably have them or don't really care.
Seasonal event modes, so now you can finally pick up Witch Mercy, Surf, in Splash Torbjorn, or Snowman Wrecking Ball any time of the year without waiting for the event to roll around. Second, we're lowering the standard price of these legendary skins to 1,500 coins or credits. Taken together, these changes mean all players can earn a legendary skin of their choice each season from the Hero Gallery skins just for playing normally and without needing to make any purchases. We understand that some players already have very large balances of credits. To ensure that all players feel rewarded for the time they spend playing, we're looking into additional ways for players to use credits in the future. These changes aren't the end of our journey to make Overwatch 2 a more rewarding game to play, they're just the beginning. We have more updates coming in future seasons, and we'll be reading your feedback to understand what's working and what isn't for all of you.
I'm going to stipulate, by the way, that the reason that the microtransactions exist now is because people didn't want loot boxes, because loot box gambling is bad. Loot box gambling is bad. The kids are all gambling addicts now. Oh my god. But I want my free skins. But I don't have a change for the model, the microtransaction model that's in the monetary model that's in the game, guys. Oh no. Oh no, I just want stuff for free. So at the end of the day, this is basically you shit in your bed and you slept in it sort of shit. And as you notice, there's almost no one. I've even seen some streamers that are asking for loot boxes back, by the way. So yeah, you shit on it. You shit on it. You didn't realize that there's going to be another, like there has to be another monetary model to replace the current one that you're in. And here we are. So yeah.
As we continue to move forward and grow, we think it's very important to share long-term plans about game features and updates, but it's possible that some of these things may change as we continue to develop and test these plans while listening to player feedback. Generally, we want to add or improve systems that better celebrate players match to match as well as across seasons. One angle we have been exploring is revamping our On Fire system to highlight when you're having a particularly impressive performance within a match. And while still in the early stages, we have begun design work on a hero-based progression system that would showcase the energy players put into playing each hero and mastering their different capabilities.
Cool.
We know this is an area that you all care about deeply, and we will look forward to providing more updates as we continue our work here. Thank you for sharing your support and
that'd be pretty
feedback.
cool.
It's what enables us to make positive changes to the game. We can't wait to hear from you in Season 3.
That'd be pretty cool. The On Fire system already exists, so I don't know why they have to revamp the On Fire system, but I guess they revamped the Pot G system, and it's even worse than it was before. They need to bring back cards, too. I don't know why they got rid of cards, but as well as that, they should bring back cards, because card voting at the end of the match was actually fun. Even if no one voted or occasionally voted, it was still a to-do, and it made you feel good if you got elected. So I don't know why they got rid of the card system. I guess because everyone gets a gold star when no one gets a gold star sort of shit. But yeah, I never felt like I should be in the card system no matter what, and I should get voted no matter what when I was there. It was just kind of a fun thing that you saw happen at the end of the game. Why they got rid of it, I don't fucking know. Besides, everyone gets a gold star. But here we are. Anyways, fire system. We mentioned this earlier. The fire system and the card system should be brought back. It's kind of dumb that it was removed in the first place. It was like World of Warcraft bringing back talent trees when they shouldn't have got rid of them in the first place. And they're probably going to spend way too much time trying to redesign something and barely change it or make it worse when it's already existed in the game. Okay. I didn't expect it to take this long, guys. I didn't know that there was a couple different updates here we didn't see that'll happen, but have to cover it. We'll make a video out of this too.